My Trident and T150T 4-speed from registered April 1970 is in a little bit of a state. So this is the next unit that will be in the garage, well, the dining room garage in fact. So I've owned this bike since 74 I think, and it's been a lot of places, Crete, all around Europe, behind the Iron Curtain, you know, so it's well travelled, and I think I need to get it back on the road. It's been a while, so we'll just have a look the other side as well, and then I'll start taking it apart so it'll fit in through the dining room. Right, so this is the other side of the bike, and it has, you know, it's a survivor more than anything else. Let's start taking some bits and pieces off, shall we? This has been dismantled more times than I care to remember. So, and I had at one point a spate of using the Klingite cylinder head gaskets, and I started blowing them quite quickly. So I got to the skill level where I could change the head gasket and have it all back running again within an hour, which on one of these is quite quick. I don't know about you, but I have some favourite spanners. I've had this one. It was my grandfather's, and I inherited it from him, and it's a 9/16 5/8, and I've owned that since the early 70s. Plan for this bike is to take that engine out, which is a bit of a Bitzer engine, and put the original back in, and I'm going to, well, the plan is to convert my original 4-speed T150 engine into electric start. So I have, over the period of time, purchased various pieces to actually make that transformation, and there's a lot of support on Trident and Rocket Free Owners club site to detail how that's done. Frustratingly, I have lost the film that I made of taking the cylinder head of the Trident engine and bringing it into my dining room garage. With the Trident T150T, registered in 1970, April, so a 1969 model, in a partially stripped down condition. We could talk a little bit about the electrics and what's going to change there. The unit at the moment has a 3-phase alternator with a 3-phase bridge rectifier, selenium one, quite fragile, and a Zener diode which is mounted on a heatsink on the steering head. The battery sits down in here, and obviously doesn't have to be very big because there's not a lot of draw on this circuit. The ignition is electronic ignition, a Boyer-Branson unit. Has been there many years, and that triggers the coils, which obviously feed the 3 sparks, and this is a series system, so a weighted spark. So the box triggers one, which triggers the next, which triggers the next, effectively in series. And each of these coils are a 4 volt coil. The initially I had 6 volt coils, 3 6-volt coils in series, and they worked okay, except in really marginal conditions where you sometimes suspected that the spark wasn't particularly good. Of course, I'm actually replacing this and the regulator rectifier. There's no regulator as such, just a Zener diode, with a rectifier regulator box, which is more efficient, and the Boyer-Branson unit with a tri-spark unit. And the difference with the tri-spark unit is that it fits into the contact breaker area, so this area becomes clear. So this is where I can put the rectifier regulator box. The 3 coils will actually change, and I have some 12 volt coils because the tri-spark system does not use a weighted spark. It's got three lines, one for each coil, and triggers each coil. Quite a lot of work to redo all the wiring, not that that's a big issue, but it will need doing. The reason for doing this is to actually make the electric circuits more efficient, because I would like to fit electric start. I have the parts, so from a T160, so that it's not a big issue to change over. One of the biggest things is the battery fits down in here, and I'm going to have to make the battery chamber bigger so I can get as big a battery in as possible. And I'm thinking of using a lithium-ion battery. Main reason for that is that the cranking amps can be higher depending on the lithium battery that you choose. The big issue with that is being able to charge it safely. Lithium-ion batteries expect a constant voltage, constant current charging source at a higher voltage than a 12 volt system. The 12 volt system with the Zener diode ish is regulated to approximately 12 volts, 12.7, 12.8 volts, depending on the Zener diode. And it's effectively a constant voltage only. As the charge in the battery, in the lead acid battery, goes up, it actually changes its internal impedance so that the current goes down. And I'm sure you've all seen that on a standard battery charger for a car battery, bike battery, whatever, where as the battery charges up, the current drops down to the point where it's basically only trickle charging at that, you know. So so I will need to actually replace the charging system with one that actually is designed specifically for a lithium-ion battery, and they are available. I'm not exactly sure on how to modify the battery carrier. One of the things that I've been learning recently is how to TIG weld, and one of the ideas behind that is so that I can actually modify the battery carrier. I think I'll buy a second-hand one and keep this. So the next section is me removing the engine plates to take the engine out, ready so I can put the original engine back in. While working on the Trident, basically to the position where I can remove the engine, I found that I've got old. In the past, I've been actually able to lay on the frame and then grab hold of the engine and pull it up, and then so I can actually move it out. But now I'm sort of over 70. Unfortunately, I can't seem to actually lift it up like I did before. So I'm going to have to get some mechanical assistance to actually achieve that. It's interesting. I didn't want to actually strip this engine down fully before taking it out, because I'm quite happy to actually leave it assembled in this point, although I will have to strip it down to actually address things like the oil leak, oil leaks I should say, and check things over a bit. But I actually want to put the new, not the new engine, the original engine back in, albeit updated with various pieces, and have that running again ready for next year. So it means that I'm going to end this video here and continue it at a later date.